Hello there, it's a pleasant good morning. I'm Daniel Ankra. Welcome. This is LNTV News Live. Thanks for joining us this 9th day of April 2019. Top stories we follow this morning. Press good news for victims of Popo Beach in Nuku Town. As President George Weah on Monday promised the construction of 50 new homes in 2 months. Bilateral ties between Liberia and Japan strengthened as Japan signs $2.7 million grant aimed at improving Liberia's health sector. World Bank economist Daniel Walker attributes the root cause of inflation in the economy to fiscal pressure, away from whom over 2,000 people flee fighting near Libya's capital, Tripoli. These stories plus much more coming up. Stay tuned. After this break, we will be right back. Welcome back to LNTV News Live. In our top story this morning, good news for fire victims of Popo Beach area in Nuku Town, as President George Weah on Monday promised the construction of 50 new housing units. President Weah indicated that these units will be constructed and completed within 60 days. President Weah made the disclosure when he visited and donated some food items to fire victims in the Popo Beach community.
What our government would like to do, we want to ask you to give us 60 days. And as I speak, tomorrow we will start the new project here. In 60 days, you'll come back home. I want you to help our team that are going to come here. That will be working here to rebuild your home. I know you got young men here. You have masoners. You have a lot of young people, strong people that can help to construct homes. We're asking all of you, all of the young men and women that can help for the buildings to come back. We ask you to join our team and to also protect those materials that will be on ground so we can put you back in your homes. I will be also inspecting in the 60 days to make sure that we rebuild your homes, and those homes that are near you that doesn't complement what we're going to build, we're also going to take it from the way and we're going to give them what you got.
Well, he's President George Weah there speaking to fire victims of the Popo Beach community. Meanwhile, the fire chief, Alex Dixon, says the National Fire Service is doing all it can to increase their response to fire disaster in Monrovia and its environs.
This is the challenges that we are facing in Liberia when it comes to the issue of access, alleys to rooms. It is huge. When the fire team came first, they used the .4 round to enter in this community. They will always say the fire fighters, they are coming late. That's what they will always say. That's why they perceive that you are coming late, because they said they call on you, but forgetting to understand that fire takes just a minute to regenerate. So in 15 minutes, the structure that we're looking at here, you see in the structure you're very safe, zinc sharp. In 15 minutes, I'm coming from Ashman Street, looking at the traffic congestion. Before I get here, that means the entire structure here should be down. And another thing, they are closer to the sea. See the breeze that is coming from the sea, helping to what? Enforce the fire. So
in that direction, is there any thought to decentralize the activities of the National Fire Service?
We are decentralized in certain communities, but the issue of decentralization is important too. But another look at the response from those that you are coming to save. for those that you are coming to save. How are they thinking? Because when I'm coming to you, I agree your house is on fire, but I'm not focusing your house 100%. I'm only looking at your house 20%, and I'm focusing what the nearby houses 100% to be safe.
Well, he's the fire chief, Alex Dixon. Well, following all of that, our camera spoke to some of the fire victims.
We were on our knees, we were praying for 14 days. We go know the people started shouting, fire, fire. I go outside with my prayer, people were looking at the fire. But we go know the breeze, breaking the fire, the children off in the fire. But we're not getting chance. I can't our horses that point.
How many horses?
11 horses.
Including the church?
Including the church.
So, were there any disaster as it relates to someone dying or got high?
Yeah, one lady was crying in the fire. The men will go for the care. The men point. As I'm talking, the men in the hospital.
Our organization started the fire. So I tell my friends, oh, but fire over there. Wherever we go there, we will see where point over there. How okay, so putting the fire up. I just said, baby, Isa. People are going to rescue the fireplace. I fire from hidden.
Is the baby alive?
I don't know now because I only think the baby was, but I know actually the person here put the baby in.
A high-powered delegation from the United Arab Emirates recently visited Liberia in fulfillment of their quest to help. The visit of the guests from UAE is as a result of President Weah's recent visit to Abu Dhabi. President Weah welcomed the guests and expressed the government's commitment to working with them for the development of the country.
Happy that you came so fast. That tells you how serious you are to work with us. We are grateful that we went to Dubai in just 1 week. We came here to assess what is around, what is important. That will give us the urge. We have a responsibility to fast track everything that you want to do. So I'm glad I see there's a special country and need to be developed. And this is our goal. Our agenda is to help our people. You know, I remember when I used to be in Abu Dhabi, in the United Arab Emirates. One time Sheikh Haddad came to me and said that, you know, he wants to change the lives of his people. And I kept that in my mind. So when I started my revolution, I made sure that it was in the cause of the people, nothing else. We have a beautiful country. We have resources. Look at our country. No light. No, it's a very small country. No electricity. Infrastructure development is scarce. The roads are bad. You know, if your big country can achieve those things that a small country can achieve, we need to get the right people to change that. So I'm glad that we came after our conversation.
Well, the head of the UAE delegation to Liberia is Assistant Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Sultan Mohammed Al Shamsi, who said they were in Liberia to assess areas of development.
First of all, I would like to thank the Liberian government and the leadership of the government, President George Weah, and for the cabinet, the ministers here, who had a very fruitful meeting last night and today. And we had actually this morning field trips, field visit to a number of locations like the ports, the airports, the agriculture sector, the education sector, the health sector, the energy, small and medium prices, and others like his projects. So I think the visit was very, very fruitful, and the team here actually in Liberia was very, very collaborative and very supportive, and it's really good to be here. We hope that actually.
Well, let's move on to Liberia and Japan have signed a $2.7 million grant agreement to improve the health sector. The signing comes as friendly governments continue to explore investment opportunities in Liberia. Ambassador Tusutomo Himeno signed on behalf of the government of Japan.
In addition to the strong and important Japan-Liberia relationship, one thing is Japan values our contribution in the area of the health sector. Health sector is essential for the well-being of the human being, and Japan takes it very seriously that we like to contribute in that areas as much as possible. This is also part of our efforts in relation to what we call the TICAD process, TICAD, or Tokyo International Conference on African Development. Our Prime Minister will be hosting the 7th TICAD meeting in Japan in August this year.
Meanwhile, the Foreign Minister Bwazanga Finlay spoke on behalf of the government of Liberia and lauded the government of Japan for their intervention.
Years have shared a good relationship with the people of Japan, government and people of Japan, and you have continued to be supportive of the people of Liberia and the government of Liberia. Your generous contribution to this country have been noted. You have now the Japanese highway. You have made tremendous contribution in health, agriculture, education, even on the local level, and continue to support the government and people of Liberia. This signing ceremony today is a manifestation of your continuous support to the people and government of this country, and we want to say to you that we are grateful and that your assistance to the health sector will not go unnoticed. The sector that needs a lot of
Liberia's Foreign Minister Bwazanga Finlay. Just before we take our break, the country economist of the World Bank for Liberia, Daniel Bwakye, has attributed the root cause of inflation in Liberia's economy to fiscal pressure. Mr. Bwakye called on government to improve on its revenue generation and cut expenditure as a way of tackling the situation. He made the disclosure to reporters Monday in Monrovia following a video conference with stakeholders.
Whenever a country is growing below its population growth rate, it spells a lot of trouble for the country. It means definitely that poverty is increasing in the country. It's a very quick back-of-the-envelope assessment of what the country would be going through. So definitely the growth rate is not the best. What and I think government really has all the instruments in their own hands. As the chief economist said, growth is in the hands of policymakers and the various countries, right? What is critical, first of all, is for government to be able to maintain macro stability, because as it said in economics, is the necessary, even though not sufficient, condition for growth. So to be able to maintain macro stability, it means that the fiscal deficit must begin to decline. Currently, it's rising, and that's why growth is not picking up.
And if you're just joining us, a reminder that you're watching LNTV News Live, and I'm Daniel Ankara anchoring top stories we follow this morning. Good news for fire victims of Popo Beach in Nuku Town community as the president promises new homes in 60 days. Bilateral ties between Liberia and Japan strengthened as Japan signs $2.7 million grant agreement aimed at improving Liberia's health sector. World Bank economist Daniel Bwakye attributes the root cause of inflation in the economy to what he calls fiscal pressure. Away from home, over 2,000 people fighting near Libya's capital, Tripoli. When we come back from the break, more stories are up. Stay tuned. Keep watching. Welcome back to LNTV News Live. Pinsville City Corporation Special Assistant to the Mayor, Adriana Davis, says women empowerment is essential to the development of any society. Madam Davis said without women empowerment, women would not feel equally important to the development process as men. She spoke at the first graduation ceremony of the Compassion Women Training Center over the weekend in Pinsville.
Women empowerment is all about equipping and allowing women to make life-determining decisions through the different problems that will arise in society. Alternatively, it is a process for women to redefine gender roles that allows for them to acquire the ability to choose between known alternatives that have otherwise been restricted from such ability. So having understand what women empowerment is, let us look at the importance of women empowerment in society. The entire nation's businesses, community groups, they all benefit from the implementation of programs and policies that adopt the notion of women empowerment.
Well, also speaking, Compassion Women Vocational Training Center Administrator Josiah Kpade called on the government, donor partners and women librarians to support women empowerment in the country.
It is so saddening that if a woman learns this and she doesn't have any means to move forward, to progress, to keep pushing or act, it becomes pitiful. So this is why we want to make a passionate appeal to our audience. Our dear women have worked so hard, but some may not have the opportunity financially to open their own whatsoever. So if you have a privilege of employment or to help them in pushing themselves, loan, giving them loan or grants, in whatever small way, we'll be very happy, because it's going to be very sorrowful if we see these women sitting down or going back to where they came from, all because there is no one to push them.
The acting administrator at the John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital has alarmed over the lack of nurses at the country's referral hospital. This is said to be seriously hampering operations of the hospital. Amanda Yasia has a report.
The acting hospital administrator of the John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital has alarmed on the overcrowdedness of the health facility. According to David Parker, the overcrowdedness of the country's only referral hospital has left the hospital management with serious capacity problem. Madam Parker says, with this situation, the ratio between nurses and patients is 38 patients to a nurse.
The nurse that is assigned to this room has 3 rooms to take care of, and each of the rooms carry 12 beds. So she can take care of this 12 room, another 12 room plus the 2 private patients. So it's very stressing, it's overworked, they become burned out, and she has to open every patient chart, ask them for their complaints, ask them about their babies, find out what they need to be done for them. If there are lab requests, that order new orders, she has to pick it up, go to the lab, get new orders, go to the pharmacy, get medication. If there's emergency, she has to immediately report the patient condition to the doctor or her supervisor. If she's overwhelmed, she has to call for help. There are a lot more than one person has to do.
At the same time, the chief administrator of JFK Memorial Hospital, Dr. Jerry Brown, also says with these many cases coming in, the hospital neonatal unit lacks equipment, especially incubators.
I have 4 incubators, 2 in our what we call inborn native, meaning babies that are born here within the hospital. I get them with inborn native, but one got bad, so we have only 1 incubator now in our inborn native. For the outborn native, we have 2 incubators there that are still functional, but we try not to take babies that are born within the hospital on the side where we are keeping babies that are born outside.
Meanwhile, Dr. Brown is calling on the government of Liberia and other partners to aid the hospital by expanding the neonatal and maternity units that will contain at least extra 50 patients in each unit.
any friendly partner, donor out there that's willing to come and help, especially with the expansion of this unit, we'll be very happy that you come and see how you can help us to expand our new little unit to be able to take in more patients, more children that are sick and need care.
At the same time, some discharged and stranded newborn mothers are calling on the government and humanitarians to kindly come to their aid by settling their bills with the hospital. The newborn babies' mothers, in separate statements, says they have spent close to 1 month in the hospital since they were discharged due to abandonment by their spouses and loved ones.
I came here, I gave birth. They say I should pay 18,000 and I pay 7,000. And my husband left me probably at 4 more. So I appeal, please, for you to help me. Only I am a lazy, so it's a lot of freedom. They made him with 2 children and the baby.
Well, thanks to Amanda Garcia for that touching report. Over $1 million United States project aimed at reducing maternal and child deaths has been launched in the country. The project, titled SAFE, is funded by the United Arab Emirates government and will be implemented through a joint partnership with Mercy Corps and the Health Ministry. Kwesi Bewa, Mercy Corps Country Director, has been providing an overview.
The picture you took was basically to signify the launch of the SAFE project. The project is basically funded by the government of the UAE to support maternal health and reduce infant mortality in the country. Now, this project is in joint partnership with the Ministry of Health. They will be driving the direction and where it goes. And over the next 1 year, we're hoping to reach out to 15,000 beneficiaries in Liberia.
Okay. If you say that, I understand from the guest that is supposed to be targeting women and children, what specifically do they want to do with women during the health center?
Right. We want to basically work with the Ministry of Health to build their capacity, one. Also, we want to help the community health clinics. As we all know, we are still growing as a country. Our community health system is not as strong as it should be. So basically, the bulk of the funding will go towards supporting healthcare at the community level, providing the necessities that we need to make sure that women are safe.
Do you have an idea how much is pumped into this project?
Well, I mean, for the first year, it's only 1 year. This is more like the start. We're looking at $1 million USD. But hopefully, once things go really well, nobody knows where it will go.
While also speaking, the Health Minister, Dr. Wilhelmina Jala, said the project will help the ministry to begin its work to reduce the high death rate amongst mother and child in the country.
This is a great partnership because our most important problem that we face in the country is the high maternal and neonatal mortality. So this program will help us to be able to start the work on reducing the high maternal mortality and to help to organize areas that will help to reduce our infant mortality.
How is it going to work?
Well, we are working in conjunction with them, especially at the community level. At primary, we'll be looking at primary health care because this is where the people are. People-centered care is very important because you can see what issues they are having at the community level, making sure that they will be able to take advantage of facilities. So if we are there in the community and identifying those high-risk mothers and high-risk infants, then we'll be able to reduce the danger of all of the complications that these mothers and children have.
Well, for his part, the Assistant Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Sultan Mohammed Al-Shamsi, said the project is the UAE's government intervention in Liberia's health sector.
Well, I mean, we have a big delegation coming from UAE after the president's visit to Abu Dhabi and meeting our crown prince. So we have instruction to come with a big delegation, technical team, to evaluate the opportunities and area of collaboration with Liberia. So people coming from different backgrounds, from the ports, from the seaports, from health sector, from education, from the small and medium enterprises. So, and this is today now we're launching our project with the Minister of Health to support the women and healthcare and collaboration with the Mercy Corps as a implementing agency. We hope this program, also one of the programs that already will launch here actually in Liberia.
What's the name of the project?
Health project to support the women and children overall at the hospital and other areas also.
Moving on to our foreign news now. Over 2,000 people have fled from the fighting near Libya's capital, Tripoli. The United Nations is quoted by the BBC as saying other civilians are trapped by the clashes and cut off from vital emergency services. Forces under General Khalifa Haftar began an attack on the city last Thursday with the aim of seizing it from Libya's United Nations-backed government. Well, that's all we have for you this morning on LNTV News Live. Before we leave a recap of our top stories. Good news for fire victims of Popo Beach in Nuku Town, as President George Weah on Monday promised the construction of 50 new homes in 2 months. Bilateral ties between Liberia and Japan strengthened as Japan signs $2.7 million United States grant aimed at improving the health sector. World Bank economist Daniel Boakye attributes the root cause of inflation in the economy to fiscal pressure. Away from home, over 2,000 people flee fighting near Libya's capital, Tripoli. Thanks to all of you for watching this morning. I've been your anchor, Daniel Anchor. Do have a wonderful day. Goodbye.